Hi guys, welcome back. And so in this video, I just simply want to compile all the assets, and then I want to use a Git repository that I'm going to create locally first, and then I want to just deploy it to GitHub. And so basically, first before I do that, I want to go in here and run ng build inside of the client folder. And you want to make sure that before you do this, inside of your Angular JSON, you want to make sure that output path field is set to // public or whatever you name your static folder in Express. Otherwise, it'll output it to this folder. That is by default what it outputs it to. Do this at the very bottom here. We'll do show add form. Add is click is it basically just set to true like that. Let me actually try to compile this again. And if we go to our public folder, right here, you can see now we have some assets here. Oh, I love that word favicon. I don't know why. Just a unique word. Alright, so basically, we have index HTML, main, and we have everything here. These are our static assets. Inside of public, that index.html file here basically is that file which has everything, which is our entire application. It's a single page application with Angular or React, and that's what that is. So that's what we basically redirect them to if it's a endpoint that's not defined by our front end. Okay, and I also want to get rid of this mean stack app with my text files here because I don't want to deploy that. I can also use git ignore on it, but it's too late now. Remember that we have that. Remember that we have that git ignore here. We just had a node modules and then the config/config.env. The node modules are automatically ignored on Angular's end when they build the project for us for the client side, so we don't have to do it there. And so we just want to do, we want to use git init, and we want to actually cd out of our client folder into the main root folder. We want to use git init, and so we initialize the empty git repository. We want to use git add to add everything, so git add dot. And because we have that git file, we'll basically git ignore file. We should ignore the node modules as well as config and then config env. You can see that they're grayed out here, and that's because they're being ignored. And so now we want to use git commit to basically commit the changes to the local repository. So git commit, and then basically we put a flag of -am, which basically doesn't open up that command prompt window, which you have to use version 1.0.0, whatever you want to put here as like a string. Then we can just commit it like that. You can see it just committed everything here. We want to actually do we want to pass the remote flag to create an origin. And so I went to GitHub. You want to have a GitHub account. Name it whatever you want. I can just use main starter like that. You can put a description. You can make it private. And then skip this step if you are importing an existing repository. And then you can say initialize this repository with a readme. But you don't want to do this because we're actually importing an existing repository, which is the local repository from our system. So we just want to do create new repository. And then basically you should see this quick setup. If you've done this kind of thing before, you should see this right here. And basically it shows you what you would have to do, so you can see -m and then name it what you want. You can add what you want to add. You can use the MIME type thing where you can just add star, which is everything of whatever MIME type like JS or HTML. You can do a lot of git add. And right here, this is what we want to do. So we want to use basically this is the same link here that they put here. So we actually want to copy this. We want to push all of our committed changes. Make sure you commit the changes before you push it. And you want to push those committed changes to the remote repository. And so basically what we're going to do is Control V to have that do it for us. And so once we add that, now we should basically be able to git push dash u for upstream. That means we're pushing something upstream to a remote repository. So git push dash u origin master. And then let's see here. And then we should be done. And that's basically how you submit of a repository to. Let me go to it. Let's see if it's here. And that's basically how you submit you see it's right here, mean starter. That's basically how you submit a repository to GitHub. So I hope you enjoyed this series. This was basically just like a series to take you through how to use Angular to create a simple application. Obviously, you will want to have a lot more. Um, you're gonna have a lot more links and everything and stuff like that. But this is to get you started, because anything that you add on will be basically whatever was in this video already, because this is the fundamentals, basically everything that you can do. I didn't talk about the Pike characters that Angular provides you, but they give you stuff like you can use the Pike character, which is the or symbol, except it's just one line instead of two, and then you can do stuff like date and stuff like that, and you can output it directly in HTML. So Angular gives you a lot of different things you can do. There's things called subjects, behavior subjects, I think, and those are used to basically keep the memory low, so you can basically for garbage collection. And what will happen is you pipe it, and then you create another variable that would like basically say that it's completed. And once you mark it as completed, and really this is only when you're dealing with services, you basically will want to clear that data once the component gets destroyed or when the service is done doing whatever you need it to do. So that basically you're not creating any memory leaks. Um, and so yeah, I mean that's a lot of stuff to look into with Angular. React and Angular are obviously the two most popular JavaScript frameworks front end right out there right now. I'm not sure what I want to after I do the React or the MERN core series. Then I'm going to try to do an ASP.NET Core series with either Razor or Blazor pages. I'm not sure which one I want to do. I think I'll do Blazor pages, just because that's another prevalent one. You also have Laravel for PHP. Which thanks a lot for watching this. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please tell me what I can do better in the future for these videos. I love feedback, because this is my first time I've ever taught something like this, and so I bet I was probably terrible at teaching it. But basically, I hope that I got the information out there. Um, Remember to look into the off guard component for Angular, and yeah, that's about it. Have a nice day.